episode is sponsored by Unique Serpents by Maki. Maki is the proud owner of her reptile pet rental service, where she actually offers birthday parties, photo shoots, local community events, video shoots, and help people to get over their fears of reptiles. She understands the importance of taking a person's fear into account. You can find Maki by going to Facebook, like, share, and follow her content on Facebook so that you're up to date on what's going on with Unique Serpents and what services are being offered in what season. You also can find her on Instagram. Like, share, follow her Instagram as well. I would like to take this time to thank Maki for sponsoring this episode of Reptiles and Cocktails. I look forward to your continued partnership, and I look forward to all that is to come for Unique Serpents by Maki.
Good afternoon, everyone. I got it right. I said afternoon today. Good afternoon, and welcome to episode 50 of Reptiles and Cocktails. 50 of Reptiles and Cocktails, which is super dope. We are at episode 50 of Reptiles and Cocktails, which is a nice long journey to this point, and it's kind of cool looking back to see like how the channel and the podcast have evolved. And so I just want to thank everyone who's been on this ride with me and has gotten us to where we are today. We are, as you can see, started the show off a little different. We started off with the sponsor. We're going to shout out the sponsor throughout the episode, and we're going to also end the show with the sponsor. So I want to just take a time and to shout out to Maki for Maki of Unique Serpents for sponsoring this episode of Reptiles and Cocktails. And just continue to just, support Maki. Maki is a huge supporter of this channel and most of all of our channels. But more importantly, it's kind of cool to see her kick off her own brands last year. And I would love to see her grow. And we're going to help, partner with her to support her in that growth. Maki is actually doing some amazing things, as you saw on the video. And you should hit her up on Instagram, and you should hit her up on Facebook. She also has her personal page there, Maki Watts. But if you want to look up Unique Serpents by Maki, she has a Facebook and an Instagram as well. So check both of those out. Next, I'm super excited about our guests again. Continue to honor all the people in the reptile community, right? We want to make sure that we honor the superstars. We want to honor the people who are starting new platforms. So we want to honor the people that most people don't know, or people who just kind of really getting out into the hobby this year. They may have been into reptiles for years. They may have been doing breeding for years, but never was out in the forefront. So we're using these platforms that we have to bring those people to light, and we are doing it in different ways. And I really, really love the variety of platforms that we get to watch and the different people and guests we get to bring on. So definitely Rock is one of the people who I personally didn't know. I know some of you did until he started following my channel, and I started following his channel. We're going to talk about some of that. We're going to get deep into one topic that he has agreed to discuss with me, and because we are two loving adults, we can talk about it in a very educating way. Maybe he's the person to help open my eyes and educate me more on the topic, and maybe I'm the person to open his eyes and educate him more on the topic. We're going to see at the end of the day, we can leave this podcast with two different mindsets and still love each other very much and support each other. And that's what this community is going to always be about for me. So continue, guys, to just share the positivity, support everybody. Don't find the lines of divide. Support everybody. Everybody out here, especially in the podcast world. I don't care who you are. If you're coming out here and you're taking away your time from the family and you're coming out here to bring whatever content that you're bringing, and everybody's content is not for everybody. But those who's doing it consistently, they take a lot of time. You know, some people work full-time jobs and come and do the podcast. You know, some people are doing multiple podcasts. Some people are giving y'all 4-hour podcasts. And Nicole probably could never do that for you. But, you know, you got people who are doing out there consistently for you and doing it consistently for Nicole, because Nicole will watch a 4-hour podcast in a heartbeat. So, I mean, I just love what we do, guys. I mean, nothing no one say, nothing no one do is ever going to change that. The only thing you're going to get out of me is that I'm going to continue to try to bond those fabrics together and to make sure that we're one flag, you know, waving one flag, one reptile community, one voice, one sound. And that's all you're going to get out of me. And I hope that message just kind of resonates throughout the entire community consistently. This week has been a better week for sure. So I just thank you all for your input and your positions in that. So, hey, Dom. Hey, Kara Shay. My bro Keys and Maki was fighting. Dang, Keys and Maki was fighting. So I'm going to go with Keys. Technically, Maki's the sponsor. No. Good job. Thank you both for being up, ready, support, especially Keys, because I'm sure he's been up much longer than I have. Brandon, wait a minute, Brandon. Let me pause for the cause. You should be blue. Let me do it from here because it's easier for me to do. So let me get Brandon taken care of right now before we get into this deep Congo. All right. Kara Shay. Hey, happy afternoon. Kai. I love me some Kai, y'all. Check out Kai Lucas Landons on Morph Market, on YouTube. Kai's just an amazing person in the community all the way around, and I just love his animals, his content, and every time that he speaks, it just, you know, brings joy to my soul. So, without further ado, we're going to bring on our guests right after our video on my timeline. All right, so bringing on the man of the hour. Welcome, Rod.
What up?
So here we go. Let's see. You on your phone? Can you turn your phone this way so I don't look like my head is already big? My head looks bigger than yours right now. There we go.
Wait, hold on.
I got a big head complex.
Let me get this together.
You ready? I'll take your time.
All right, there we go.
All right. Can you still hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. And can you guys in the chat hear Rock okay? Just to make sure. Thumbs up. The
Can
intro
you guys
is so killer. I know. I love it.
What's up, everybody? What's up, Don? What's up, man? Shout out to everybody that's coming through. I appreciate y'all.
So just let me know if y'all, if our audio is not on point. Are we good? Thank you, Maki. So let's start off with, first of all, did not know that you were in Virginia, but tell people where you're from, where you were raised, if not where you from, and how did you get into reptiles?
All right, I was born and raised in Detroit, Michigan. I've been in Virginia for about 4 years now. And how I got into reptiles, it started with my mom for real. She took me to some reptile place in Ohio when I was like 8 or 9 years old. And the first time I ever held a snake, I'm not gonna lie, I freaked out because it was like a little baby boa constrictor. And when I held it, like I was cool. I'm like, oh my, look at it. And then it tried to go up my sleeve and I flung it and it grabbed around my finger and I freaked out. But after that, it was just like love at first sight, I guess.
Cool. And when you had that experience, was it the boa that was your first reptile that you fell in love with, or was there another reptile?
The first reptile I ever fell in love with just from TV was a Komodo dragon, and I'm still in love with him. That was the first reptile I ever wanted, but I found out I couldn't keep it when I was a kid. So yeah,
you know what? I think Komodo dragons are one of those animals that I would love to be on a safari, riding through and see it from a distance. But I can tell you, I remember always wanting to see a tiger and being on vacation and being on safari and seeing a tiger like for real for the first time and realizing that maybe I don't want to see a tiger that close because there's like so much bigger than
do you think?
You actually can imagine. And even compared to being in the zoo, I guess because in the zoo, the way that the zoo enclosures are made, the lion den and the tiger's den, they always have these different levels. So maybe you never could see the massive size of them, but when you see them like they are there, then it's like, oh wow, yeah, this is a pretty big animal. But I would tell you again, I don't feel that way about an alligator, so I can get it. I just don't know if I see a Komodo dragon in person, if I'm going to be like, oh, I just want to touch the little.
Wait. I never said I was gonna be like, oh, I want to touch it. I just want one to like.
See, the crazy thing is that I think I would, in a controlled environment, right, not in the middle of a lake, touch an alligator. But if one was like actually like just basking somewhere and other people were around, I probably would be okay with that. I don't know if I'm just going to be one of them people just swimming and hunting for them myself. So what made you get into, when did you realize that you wanted to get into breeding? How old were you when you realized you wanted to get into breeding ball pythons, or is that a recent thing for you?
It's more of a recent thing. I always been more on the side of like wanting to do educational things and do educational things for kids. That's what I really want to do. But I mean, I want to try my hand at breeding. It's something that after watching so many videos of people breeding and cutting eggs, you kind of like, I want to do that too. I want to try. So that's where the breeding thing came from.
But you have like a different reptile. So I know that you have retics, right? Or you still have
I got
retics.
a retic.
How many retics do you have?
One.
Okay, so you have one. And the one that you have, is it a Machino?
She was sold to me as what was it? An orange glow.
Orange ghost or
orange glow.
Orange ghost. Okay. Yeah. And other than the retic, what else do you have?
Got a Burmese python, a boa constrictor, and 6 ball pythons.
Okay. So is the 6 ball pythons you have, are they the ones that you're starting your breeding with?
Yeah.
And so when you went into that mindset, okay, I'm going to buy these 6 ball pythons, were you buying them with the mindset of buying them as pets and then decided to breed? Or did you really like pinpoint what genetics you wanted to start out with?
I just, how can I say? I guess it started off more as a pet thing because I had got the first one that I got within the last 2 years. The first one I got, he was a pastel yellow belly, and I always like pastel, so I wound up getting a pastel female. It's certain genes that I do want to work with, so I guess you could say I'm looking at certain genes.
And with what would be the next snake? So like taking it from that pet, because I was the same way. So, I always had pet ball python. So I'll just give you an example. My first ball python was a normal, which was the coolest normal that you ever had. Shout out to Squeegee up in reptile heaven. That snake was a snake that, first of all, taught me that snakes have individual personalities. It was the snake that my family will remember the most because it was my first, and it was the one that like everybody tried all the snake things with this particular reptile. Then it was the the pied. I had to have the pied, and then it was like the ivory pastel. But when I went from going from that level to the breeding level, like everything changed. And let me tell you, the toughest part for me was buying a retic for $5,000 was nothing. It's a retic. Boom, here's the money. But getting into the ball python on the serious side of the genetics and realizing how much they cost, it took me like to recondition my mind to say, okay, I'm ready to go over here and buy this snake from Markdale Exotic for this amount of money, right? And this snake costs as much as my tiger pied. Or then getting to a point where, my husband like, girl, we bought cars cash for that kind of money. Like, you can't be doing this. You know what I'm saying? So it was a big difference, a shift. Now I'm stuck, right? Now I'm stuck into, I know which genes I want to work with, and like anything in life, if you really want it, you're gonna risk it all for it, right?
Yeah.
But it's like now understanding the ball python genes more and more, and understanding what you're paying for. It's easier for me to pay for that kind of, like, to spend that kind of money now. But when that first switched over from that pet mode to that breeding mode, it was like, what? Like, you want me to pay how much for what? Like, and then it just was tough. So where's your mindset with that now? Like, are you at a point now where I'm going to just take the genes I have and build on them, or you are planning to make like some insane investments to kind of push your projects further ahead?
I plan on making some investments. I just got to look around and find out what I really want to work with, because at the end of the day, I'm like I said, my biggest thing is education. So
exactly, kids.
when it comes to the money part, like, of course it's always good. Everybody want to make money, but I got a job to make money right now, so I keep the job at that. But as far as working with animals, it want to be something I want to work with. I'm not just gonna get on the gene because everybody else said that that's what you should do.
Exactly.
So.
And that's smart. I think that if I learned anything in this last year, stay on your own path, stay on your own course. Like, don't try to be like the next breeder or anything like that. Some of the people I feel who got the best collections, they kind of like have their own thing going on. Like, I love to see things that, I'm not going to say genetics that never were combined for production to produce an animal, but when that person like produced a very unique version of those genetics. And I think that comes from when people kind of like hone down on to sticking to the genes and refining the genes that they have in their own collection, opposed to constantly like just, buying this gene, buying this gene, buying this gene. We all know orange ring looks different depending on who you bought it from and how far away from Mark and Ozzy that you got it, so it all depends. Right. But if you could get it from Gavin, and you're going to get some just great orange ring too, because he refined, that genetic as well. So with that being said, like for me, I'm at a point where I don't want to buy anything else, unless it's just totally like something that blows my mind. What point that you think you're at? Are you at a point where like this year you just want to take advantage of the downsize in the market, which is really not, guys, a downturn in the market, it's a downturn in pricing, because business people know how to shift to make money. But right. Are you going to take advantage of that?
I am. I mean, the thing that I'm looking for right now is not a ball python. I'm looking for a female boa constrictor, so that's what I'm gonna search for to find.
So you're more on the boa, which is a whole nother breeding plan. I was laughing listening to Whole Back Rack yesterday. They was talking about I think Chris was talking about a couple animals. It might have been two chondros that he was cohabiting, and she made a comment, Jessica made a comment about the fact that, well, you can't not cohabit sometimes, because boas got to be together 6 months even to breed. Like, you got to leave them together almost forever for them to breed, which I do have a set of boas that are breeding right now, and I still cannot consecutively, in my mindset, leave them in those enclosures that long together. So I do remove them and separate them so that they can eat. I don't want to keep them together to feed, even if they breed. And that's just, to me, that's just not something I want to risk with my boas. So I do separate them to feed them, and then I'll put them back together, because they don't have to eat for months, for a couple months or so. But so You have the one boa constrictor now. What line of boas are you interested in breeding?
I don't know. That's the problem. I just don't like right now. I don't know. I go by the eye test, what I see that I like,
Right.
and I kind of base it off of that.
Right. I mean, and that's good. I mean, and part of being in the chats and watching the different podcasts and things like that, that will help you guide you along the way and owning the different species. Because, like, for me, I know that the ball python breeding is for me, but breeding a bunch of retics would not. And I would not have felt that way if I didn't own several retics, right?
Right.
To learn that, not necessarily that produce. I think that if it was a world of people out there who can legitimately care for these animals the way they should be cared for, we all should be producing retics. It is definitely one of the best animals out there. But the reality of it is that it's not, you know, and I even see people purchasing them now, and, you know, it makes me cringe sometimes. Because I understand what those animals really, really, really need. So I'm going to do my part to just continue to try to help people educate through that process. But the same thing for Burms. Although I think retics are better, I think Burms is another one that if if there was a market for them and we bred them, that it would definitely enhance the beauty of this hobby. I think the big snakes are just like venomous snakes, got their own little edge, but it's also a part of the hobby that makes the hobby just more special. You know, not saying ball pythons don't, but the bigger snakes are what wows my soul still. Like, even, you know, sitting in here in this house. So you having the variety of them, which one out of the big snakes do you think that you would want more of? As pets, not necessarily breeders.
All right, so
I think I might know this, but
okay, which one do you? Okay, which one would I want?
So if Rock could say, I want to get 2 more this, 2 more that. Hey Dre, what's up, bro, Negro? Like, what would it be? Like, would you want another retic? Would you want another boa? Would you want another Burm first? Or are you just good with having just one of all of them? That's it.
If I just had, like, if I had the unlimited space and I could do what I wanted to do, I would probably go for another retic, because my retic, she's an ass.
Okay.
And I just want to see if is she just a personal ass, or is it all? No, I mean, she good, but like her feed response, like anytime anybody walk by the cage, she like.
What kind of cage is it?
Right now I got her in the Christmas tree, so because I'm waiting on my PVC cage to come. But when I had her in the smaller PVC cage that I moved my ball python to, that's just how she is.
So can she see when you're walking past the cage? How much of that glare? How old is she first?
Okay, when I got her, she was around 4 months, and when did I got her? Was February of 2022.
Okay.
So she
probably about 2 years old.
Yeah, a year and a half, somewhere in there, yeah.
So when you first got her at 4 months, was she in a enclosure where she can always see y'all, or was she in a rack or something where she couldn't see a lot?
She could always see us.
She can always see. In the enclosure that she is in now, she can always see from what side?
Well, she's normally, like, even from when she was young to now, she's always in, like, because I got branches and stuff from outside, so she always, like, coiled up in her little branches. So she, like, I don't know, I put the branch, like, right at the front of it, like, where it's facing the front, so she can see us from the front.
Okay. So just send me when you get a chance, just send me a picture of the enclosure she's in now. And then we'll go into more detail, because a lot of times it's just the fact of how much activity, and it might not even be y'all, it might be the shadow. It might be like she might can see you and the shadow of you, and she's reacting to the shadow, not you. So,
and like, but like she,
yeah, I did this. I told somebody else this the other day, and they definitely said it worked. So,
like her,
like, a few of the enclosures,
but she's the sweetest girl in the world. Like she like she a sweetheart. Like if I open it up, she's not trying to bite or strike. She, like, as soon as I open it and she knows, like, it's nothing to eat, she's kind of more curious, like, well, what's up here? Like, she crawled all over the doors and up the door. She just loves to climb. So
Yeah. Well, retics love to climb. That's the
like
story. People
she
think they
climbed up my
don't,
Christmas
and
tree.
they do. So I'm glad you let her out to climb, because what they can do, and even in the 8x5, I have big enclosures. I have one of them as a 10x4x4. Even when they get to a certain size, right? They still want to climb. So the only thing I can give them, because I don't trust them, like how some people can let their retics go out in the trees and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm not climbing the tree. So let me tell you all that now. We'll be sitting out there waiting for the retic come down on his own. But shoot, I seen who did it. Brian Cusco did it. Brian Cusco climbed the tree. We got the retic back down. Came back down the tree. Shout out to Brian. Brian is shape for that. Brian from Hawaii, I believe. He probably used to just, being able to just climb trees and things like that. My body ain't shaped for that no more.
Hold on, real quick.
But I will tell you that some people can do it, and they will just climb up the tree and they get their retics down. Now, I have a couple retics that I think I can get down that way. I'm not chancing it though. So the stairs is the best thing for them to climb. They get to go to the highest point of the house, and then there's another point where there's like an attic. They want to get down, go to the room, and go up higher. But you will not see a retic come out of the enclosure and not climb first, unless it's too fat, or if you
see,
you
I
know
got a
what I'm
snake
saying?
book right here, guys. So her birthday was, I was wrong. I'm behind. Her birthday was, she was born on December 9th of 2021. So
Okay. So she's just a little over a year. Okay.
yeah, and she's about. I'm not good with like eyeballing. I would say maybe 4.5 feet, 5, maybe at the most 5.
Okay. And she's an orange glow?
Yeah. Well, that's
Okay.
yeah, that's what she was showed to me as. So
Okay. Yeah, so I would definitely thank God you let her come out. That's the best thing you can do, because that's the best way to her for her to learn you and everything and everybody around the house, is by letting her come out. But I will tell you that if she's about, I would say about a 1.5, she's an orange glow, you probably want to check like what her feeding schedule is and things like that, because she should be a little bigger than that. Most retics mainlands are 10 feet by the time they hit that year, and that's with just regular, feeding naturally. And that probably, like, you could probably up her food size, and you probably see less of a reaction
yeah,
from
just
her.
I guess with me it's always because I feed her. I feed her typically once every 10 days. A medium to large rat, just depends.
Yeah, so she should be by now on bunnies or one rabbit, like about 6 to 8 pounds, for about every 3 to 4 weeks. Yeah, so them taking it, and this, I know it's hard to process, because like, especially going from a boa to a retic, where it takes a boa a month to digest a large rat appropriately, like it should. Retics, a retic that size, digesting a large rat is a quick digestion. The clue is for you when it's peeing and when it's pooping.
Mm-hmm.
So if it pees and poop after like that 10 days, then it's processing that in 10 days, and then
Okay.
you want to up that feed. And, I think probably about 7 to 8 months is when I started putting mine on bunnies. They was always already off the jumbo rats. They was on like bunnies. Now that they on rabbits, though, I don't give them more than that. I don't think a retic need any more. And I give them up to 12-pound rabbits.
Yeah.
I give them a 12-pound. I can go a month easily. And then sometimes, like this time of season, like where some of them are in that breeding mode, they can go 2 months without eating, and that's okay. And just pretty much, kind of look at that, because how you feed and how it's processing and digesting this food makes a total difference in the experience with you, especially when it comes to them being defensive or sometimes just, food driven.
Yeah.
It can have everything to do with that. So let's go into our topic that me and Rock is going to talk about, guys. And so let me just tell you how this went. First of all, the way that you and I even had the dialogue, that's how it's supposed to go, right?
Right.
So Rock, I'll share the story. Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
So before I bring on any guests, even if I'm familiar with them, I kind of drill into certain details of their channels if they have one. And as I was drilling into Rocks, I never noticed before how many of the live feeding videos that Rock have. So I sent him a message, and I didn't say what my intent was in the message, and I did that intentionally because I wanted to see where your mindset was, right? So I told Rock, I said, hey, I'm looking at some of your footage, and I noticed that you have a lot of live feeding, and that doesn't go with my brand. And I kind of left it like a question mark. And you responded very professionally. I would, I really would like to, still be on your show, but if it doesn't work for the show, I totally understand. And that told me that we can have this conversation. Just your response and to what I sent to you. So you hear me all the time talk about live feeding. But I'm going to share some things with you that, I'm going to say for the first time on my channel. And I'm going to say, actually, it was something that I was watching on another podcast. And then it was something that a person, I guess, on the podcast said. And they said that, how do we know? The question was, how do we know that live feedings negatively impact those who are watching these channels? And it made me think, because I thought about two things. If I wasn't in the reptile hobby, I would never see your channel, right? Most likely. Most likely, if I wasn't in the reptile hobby. Secondly, even with me being in the reptile hobby and me seeing your channel, it sparks the question with yours. Because what I will say about your live feedings, it wasn't like, oh, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. It was literally you showing you feeding your animals. And nothing about it was barbaric to me. I didn't see anything where you were like, making fun of the event or anything like that. So total respect for that, because I always say that I do think it's a place for live feedings if you are doing it in an educational way. But can you just help me and others who think the way that I do with your videos? I'm not talking about anybody else live feeding videos. I'm talking about yours, because yours, like I said, was in a different context. Why do you feel to post that content on your website, knowing the communications that you hear about is impact on the people who are fighting against us? What is your mindset on that? And take your time and be blatantly honest.
Yeah. I think as far as the impact that it has on, like, with the government's trying to take snakes away or make certain rules and bans, I think one of the biggest problems in the reptile community is that a lot of people don't stick together. We see one aspect of what somebody does and we automatically dismiss them or put them on the back burner, like, oh, well, he does live feedings, let's not watch this, or he does it this way. With me, like I said, education is a part of it. And stimulation for the animal. I feel that live feedings are something that actually stimulates the animal. I notice even with my boa constrictor, with my burn, sometimes when I feed them frozen thaw, they kind of just grab it and just pull it down. Sometimes they won't coil it, they'll just pull it down and sit there and then eat it. But when I put a live prey item in there, their whole mood changes, and like they will literally actively go after it. Like my burn, he will literally actively go after it and like almost chase it. Like certain videos that I have done as far as live feedings, I had, of course, when you're doing live feedings, I done had the snake accidentally, grab the rat a certain way and split it open. And those videos I was recording, but I chose not to upload them because I don't want that, like, whole bunch of blood and just be extra just to get certain views. I feel like a live feeding is part of having a carnivorous animal. So that's why I choose to do it and why I choose to post it, because I believe that it is of educational value. People can learn, and as long as you do
So,
it in a certain way and you don't do it tasteless. There we go.
right. So my only suggestion would be, right, and this is your channel. This is my suggestion. This is Nicole, the U.S. ARC advocate. Woo, woo, woo. My suggestion would be for your videos to start it off with a small tidbit of what you just said, because you just said some things that's important. And again, when I watch your videos, I didn't see the whole, like, you're doing it just for the views. I didn't get that. I didn't get that at all. I got that this could be educational. Like, kind of like, I think, like I said it before, Sean does not live feeding, but he does frozen thawed feeding, which to me feedings are feedings, whether you're doing live or frozen thawed. So I'm not, when I say live feed, I'm talking about feeding an animal, period. I shouldn't say live or frozen thawed feeding. And I'm going to answer Eric's question too, because I do that, Eric, with everything except for my retics and my burns, and I'll tell you why. But I think that even for those who want to do live feedings, if they do that educational piece, that you just, the educational spiel, even if I'm somebody who stumbles on your channel, I would understand the why you're showing that video. Not saying that's what you have to do. I'm just telling you that to be helpful to community, that's what I would suggest with your particular videos, because, you know, there were several things that I saw that can be educational for somebody else. And I'm sure that people come on your pages and your posts and make their comments and things like that.
Yeah.
That's never going to be me. Like, I'm never going to come with my post and say, you should not be doing live feeding. Nowhere anyone can say they ever said that. Only time I ever commented on something like that was a post of nerves that I was responding to something else about. But I'm not going to come on your post. But I do use my platform to educate the people about the reason why, from an old school, new school perspective too, where if we're going to do the live feedings, or we're going to do feedings, period, that why we should educate, whether it's live or frozen thawed, because there is a new ball python breeders need to know how to feed an animal, what size to feed an animal. So I think your channel will be a lot more better and relevant to the education of the reptile community is if you say, like, it was one you were feeding one of the, I think it was like a banana ball python or something. And if you say, you know, this is a medium-sized rat that's being fed to, you know, appropriate size feed being fed to my banana ball python. This is how this ball python eats. You know, this is how they would, you know, approach the animal in the wild. There are some people who feed frozen thawed for a safety reason, like to tell all of that. And I'm saying this to you because I think that the tone of your videos are, you have like the right educational tone for it, right? And like I said, you have multiple animals that you can teach differently. Like, I don't do this. I don't do feedings, but I'm telling you, I'm giving you an idea. I think it'll be great for your channel. Since you got a retic, you got a berm, and you got the ball pythons, it would be good to show the difference of how that feeding is for your channel, since it's already your content. I'm not going to do it because it's not my type of content, but I'm not, what you just said, we have to get away from totally knocking the content unless it's just crazy sadistic. And there's some out there that's sadistic. Yours is not that at all. Yours is not that at all. But I do think that yours is one of them channels that you could use that same content, because you got all these different animals, to show people the different ways and approach to feeding. Because feeding a retic is totally different from feeding that ball python, whether it's alive or frozen thawed. Let me tell you. So to Eric's question, Eric, I do that with my ball pythons. I feed my ball pythons, the baby ones, I would say 95% frozen thawed if they will take it, and then still 5% live. Once they get to sub-adult age, I go all frozen thawed. Unless for whatever reason a snake act like it doesn't want the frozen thawed, and let's say it doesn't eat for 2 weeks in a row, then I give them live, and that makes them want to eat, then I might do that as well. So it's all about the animal, but if I can feed frozen thawed, it's frozen thawed all the time except for the babies. I do like switching it up with the babies because I do think it helps them keep the ball pythons to keep a memory of how they should eat and hunt. Now for you with the retic, like, that might be a good idea. Do you feed your retics live? Okay, so that to me is, you know, another opportunity for education, because most people, I would tell you, don't feed their retics live because you don't have to, right? But it's your personal choice. I can tell you that there are some younger retics that I know the breeder may have fed live, and then when I got the snake, I quickly can switch them over to frozen thaw because they don't care really. But I will tell you that I have done one video, and it's an earlier video, where I show how I prep the food for my retics, right? But I don't show me actually feeding them. Actually, the camera stops right when I'm getting ready to show the snake getting, you know, eating the food. That's the one video that I ever done, but it was more education. This is how I heat food for my
Yeah,
snakes and
yeah.
things
Prepare
like
your
that. This
stuff.
is why I feed my retics. Now, I will tell you that for the people who are concerned about animals hurting, I don't know of a retic that hasn't been hurt by a 12-pound rabbit. I will tell you this: a retic's punch knocks a rabbit flat out. Like, it's just like it's. I wouldn't have that concern as much as I do with the ball python, as far as a
Oh yeah,
rodent
cause
actually
yeah, cause when she
injuring.
hit, cause I like to feed my snakes different animal, like different preys too. I fed them duck, quail,
Which
rabbits.
stinks. I tried that one time. I'll never feed the retic a chicken again. Oh Lord, Jesus.
But no, like the duck, like at first when I fed her the duck, cause I got some ducks from Tractor Trailer Supply. But when I got them, like when I first put it in there, she was kind of looking like, "What is this?" And then like the little duck stepped on top of her, and she like, "I don't know what it is, but it's dead now." And I was like, "Oh." But I mean, that's why like even when you see my live feeding videos, like I play music because I had people send comments like, "Well, why we can't hear the rat squeak?" I'm like, "Bro, like it's not really necessary." Like,
So let me tell you, that's another thing. I hate to hear that with rats. I definitely don't want to hear it with rabbits. But what I love about ASFs is that ASFs do not make any noise. It's like they just go in like, this is it. Like, peace. It's just like they make no noise whatsoever. But the rats, and then sometimes the rats gotta make that last extra, I can't take it. When I tell you it's like a funeral service in here when I have to feed live, like I'm talking to the rat, like, I'm so sorry. I'm just sorry, so sorry. And there's been times that a rat has been so sweet that I actually put that one back and then go get another one. That's how emotional of the feeding process is for me. So I choose frozen thought for the most time. But I wanted to bring it up, guys, and I wanted to have that conversation because I wanted to commend, first of all, Rod, for you not being the type to take my question the wrong way and allow us to have that conversation. Because whether I think one of the things that you said, that we have to come to a way of trying to have communication without condemning each other, right? Helping each other without condemning each other, giving advice without condemning each other.
right.
And I think that for me, you're the first person that I ever been able to openly have that conversation with, because other people that I would have wanted to have that conversation with would not have been as remarkably open to the conversation as you were. And their response, if I had sent them the same exact message, would not have been what yours was. So I thank you for allowing us to have that conversation about it. Thank you for accepting my feedback about it. But I do think it will make your channel even better if you talked more through that process, because I will tell you that your content is not all wrong. It's not. I just think that it should have some dialogue with it. So when that person do stumble over it, we don't look like mean people who feed animals.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to the live feeding,
Dre,
what?
hold on, excuse me. Let me pause for the cause for this one. You already 1 second away from a curse out, sir. So don't let her manipulate you, bro. She trying to expose you. Rock and I had very personal conversations before this. If he did not want to have this conversation, we would not be having this conversation. Isn't that correct, Rock?
Listen, nobody can expose what I publicly put out there.
That's right.
So this is what I'm saying. This is the last thing that I really want to say, like on a serious
Anger.
note about the live feeding. I tell everybody, listen, the reason it's so easy for them to come up with certain bans and stuff, because like I said, we don't stick together as a community. Whether you agree with live feedings or not, listen, we have to stick together. Like when they could see, like, let's say I became a bigger YouTuber and they could see on the comments, oh, look at all this hate from other reptile keepers because he's doing his live feed. So when they have a divide between us, that's why they can pass these laws, because it's a divide. But if they see that we sit together and we can have civilized conversations and we talk about stuff, like when you said what you said, like, why would I get mad about? I'm not going to get mad. There's no need to get mad. I respect your platform. I respect what you do for the hobby. So there's no need for me to get mad because maybe you don't agree with everything I do. Like I said, as long as somebody's not like literally abusing their animals, like certain channels that we all know about that shouldn't be out here, as long as it's not nothing like that, if they're taking care of their animals, like y'all don't see scratches and bite marks. All my live feedings I monitor I don't leave the room until the rat is or the prey item is completely dead. I walk back and check up on it. Even after a week after they're feeding, I leave them alone for a few days. After a week or maybe about 4 days, I literally go grab my animals and I look over them, make sure they didn't get injured, make sure it's nothing that I need to take care of. And that's the way you're supposed to do it.
Well, like I said, I will tell you that there's others that I, could have wanted to have the same conversation with, and it would never. First of all, I'm not as patient in communication. So, so when I do ask a question, how the person responds is very important to me before, because I may not respond again or just say, I'm just that person. But again, I love meeting stand-up people who, like, yeah, we're going to talk about it on the show type of conversation. And again, we saved that conversation here and I learned something. But I can tell you from watching your channel, I didn't come away from it disgusted at all. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't. But I was like, but damn, if he could just add some, like, this is what I'm doing, this is the process, I'm feeding this size animal to this size because of this, and it would really be really educational. Elias says something as well, because yes, most people are doing it for the wrong reasons, Elias. And as you can see, Rock could care less if he had 100 or 700 or 1,000 subscribers. This is the content he chooses to post, and that's what I respect. It's not that this is because this gives me likes, you know what I'm saying? This is because this gives me subscribers. That's not the reason why, and you can see it behind it. Like I said, it wasn't malicious anyway. It was a normal feeding. It's what we do in our homes every single day. We don't play music to hype the rats up or anything like that. So that should never be a part of it. But I get it. I respect it. And yes, I'm glad we can have this conversation too, Elias. Dre said, Jeremy, I wasn't watching Jeremy last night. I was on Head Down, where everybody's supposed to know. I was on Head Down. I didn't see nobody. They happened on Friday. If I can't make Head Down, I can't make anything. But I will say that, I'm glad Jeremy did speak on it, because Jeremy is one of the highly respected people in the community. People I highly respect. The person who I think takes the middle role with everybody, not trying to be on any side. He just, he understands the fight, though, that we have. So I'll go back and watch that replay, Dre, honestly, because I didn't. Head Down with popping with snakes last night. I didn't watch anything else. Sorry, bad enough I'm sitting here trying to have date night and spa days and all that stuff and still stay connected. I couldn't do both. I had to make sure that I was where I needed to be and see the fam. So Rob, where do you want to go with your so where do you see yourself in 2 to 3 years with the bull breeding or whatever breeding you decide to do?
Where I see myself in, I'm working on things as far as personal, like as far as my credit and getting things back on track and getting, because I want to have my own facility. I want to have something similar to the Reptarium, but
Okay.
for education.
So kind of like starting off like how I don't know if you're familiar with Sean.
I'm not good with names either, so.
Okay. I actually did an episode with him as well, but that's kind of like his bigger vision, and I watch like how he's growing every year towards that goal. So that's your ultimate goal. You want to do multiple animals, have something to educate the masses.
Yeah. So people could come, somewhere where families could come in and learn something, because I feel like a lot of people are scared of reptiles for no reason. They don't, like, when I ask some people, they be like, I'm scared of snakes. I be like, why? Because I am. That's the only reason that they can give me, because I am. And because I am is not a reason. You're scared of, like I tell people, you're scared of a snake, but you never been attacked by a snake, bit by a snake. You never had a run-in with a snake, but you're scared of them. So we have to educate them and let them. Like I told my cousin before, I'm pretty sure you've been around a lot more snakes, like, because she lived in the country of Georgia. I'm pretty sure you've been around snakes and you didn't even know it, because they're not here trying to hurt you.
Right, they're not. Yeah,
they're not actively trying to kill you. It's not like it's not like snakes on a plane. Okay, this snakes on a plane is not real life. So I want to educate people.
For those of us who have homes, I always say, like, there are so many snakes under the crawl spaces of houses that we never see, because we also don't see rats and rodents. They're down there just making sure that the rats and the rodents don't enter the house. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I also understand though when going back to, I don't know if you watched the episode last week when we was talking about the king cobra and stuff like that, where people are so fearful of a king cobra. I cannot tell you that I am going to try to move a king cobra. I am going to get the hell away. Now, if you got a rat snake, even probably like a copperhead, I got you on some hooking it and moving it. You know what I'm saying? I got
Right.
you. But if you want me to just do that with a king cobra that stands taller than I am, shout out to anybody who's bold enough to do that. I'm going to run as far away as I can and let that snake go on about his business. So I do understand people's fears of reptiles. I think that also I understand that people don't understand us and why we have so many, which is one of the conversations we're going to talk about tomorrow on Two Peas in the podcast. Our topic is like having multiple species. Like, is it a downside to that? You know, we're going to talk about it tomorrow and how I perceive that. I think that you get a different reptile experience when you have multiple animals, but I do think that if you're breeding or you're planning to be a breeder, it's important to hone down on what you're going to breed until you master the breeding process. Like a Christopher being asshole, you know, he can probably do it with his eyes closed. Now, in where you are, I'm not familiar with Virginia. You guys, are y'all lost similar to Maryland? Like, you can have anything as long as it's not native to Virginia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any animal that you don't have in your collection now that you would like to have as a pet outside of a Komodo, like one that you actually can have? Because I'm sure Virginia ain't letting you roll no Komodo up the neck.
First of all, I wouldn't have the money that it takes to get the Komodo, because trying to get a Komodo.
So we ain't even got there yet, right?
But I would love to get a Euromastix. I want lychee geckos. I want to I love tegus. I really like. That's one of my dream animals. I want a blue tegu though.
And shout out to my tegus. They did not go down until December this year. That's the first year they waited longer, and I know that they're going to wake up around March. That's been that time lately waking up, but normally I'll be down by August or September. This year they did not go down until late December. So shout out to Gigi and Kobe in there.
But I mean, as far as animals, I love animals. The only animal that I really don't like, bro, I don't like cats or frogs. Like, no.
Cats and frogs.
Yeah, frogs. I don't know why they're
I
just
love
weird.
cats. I just can't have them because my husband and my bonus daughter are definitely.
This is my guy right here. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm a big dog lover too. My big baby around, he just came in. It started snowing, so he just knocked on the door. He would knock on the door when he ready to come in. So
I mean,
just let him know.
I did recently get a crested gecko because I've never had a lizard in my life. So I was like, well, let me get something that's kind of easier to transition me into it. So I got a crested gecko.
You know what's pretty cool too? Ackie monitors. So if you want to like transition into like bigger lizards, but get the personality of a big lizard, Ackie monitors. I'm telling you. Shout out to Mike, although he set me up. Mike monitors. I was in Tinley when I got these monitors. I had no business getting these monitors. Mike set me totally up in getting these monitors. And I didn't even buy them from him. So it's not like he was trying to set me up for a purchase from him. But they are the coolest. So anybody who like, you can't do the big monitors like the Asian water monitors and the tables, but you want a dope, smart monitor, Ackie monitors are super, super, super cool. I absolutely love them. So definitely try them out.
Yeah,
I will tell you, Asian water monitors are super dope too if you have the space to like build for them, because they do get really big. Like we laughing looking at Larry now. Like I remember when you was this big. Now this thing just lays out just like
the monitor that I really want, like besides the Komodo dragon, because that's unattainable in real life. It's unattainable, so I moved past that. But the one that I really want is a crocodile monitor, a croc monitor.
So that's like more on Dre level. Those are the type of things that, you know, you might lose a hand. I'm more of an Asian water monitor. I ain't really biting you, ma'am. I can, but the croc monitors, it takes a whole, they are very intelligent and they're very powerful. Very powerful.
Yeah.
But they are beautiful animals. But yeah, that's more like some stuff Dre was saying. Let me go get a croc monitor because I just want to take a chance of losing my life. So before we go into my last final questions for you, I just want to take a time, guys, and to just re-honor my sponsor again, Miss Marky of Unique Serpents.
This episode is sponsored by Unique Serpents by Maki. Maki is the proud owner of her reptile pet rental service, where she actually offers birthday parties, photo shoots, local community events, video shoots, and help people to get over their fears of reptiles. She understands the importance of taking a person's fear into account. You can find Maki by going to Facebook, like, share, and follow her content on Facebook so that you're up to date on what's going on with Unique Serpents and what services are being offered in what season. You also can find her on Instagram. Like, share, follow her Instagram as well. I would like to take this time to thank Maki for sponsoring this episode of Reptiles and Cocktails. I look forward to your continued partnership, and I look forward to all that is to come for Unique Serpents by Maki.
All right. So again, thank you so much, Maki, for being a sponsor. And thank you all who has reached out for sponsorships and working with me, because this is something that's new to me and I'm kind of working through it. We actually picked up a new sponsor as well, which I'll start promoting them. So I have the local show here is the Maryland Reptile. One of the local shows here is the Maryland Reptile show, and we are going to partner together where I will actually be hosting some of my videos from there on the day that they have reptile shows, and doing some footage for them as well. And for that, I definitely want to honor them with a piece of sponsorship on my channels as well. So we're working that through. I will say that anybody who supports myself or any of the reptile community, especially my usual suspects, we appreciate you. I appreciate everyone in this hobby. And Rock, one of the reasons why I brought you on is because I remember one day in the chat, and if you guys don't think I pay attention to the chat, you asked the question, when will somebody let me on a show? And I wrote that down. I don't know if you even remember that. That's probably about 2 or 3 months ago. And I wrote it down. And so I really do that, guys. So I can't, for this platform, if you're doing reptiles, you're a reptile person, and you have anything that's interesting, your YouTube channel, you're promoting your business on Instagram, social media, anything, reach out to me. Like, I'm not, now, if we have nothing in common, or I can't think of anything that may be interesting enough for me to carry a conversation with you for an hour, hour and a half, we may have to work to that point, but I will be honest. But this is a platform for us, for people in the reptile community. If there are people who consider themselves superstars in the community who wants to be on the show, reach out to me. And I would make sure that our platforms align and that we can work together as well to share the love of what we do so amazing. Like, I honestly can think of 2 people that I would love to just bring on the show. I just think the timing is wrong. And but I will tell you, in the next 30 days, I'll be reaching out to them. And I would love to have them on the show and just kind of talk reptile stuff, and where the future of our hobby is going and type of change that we would want to see. So let's start with you. That's one of my questions for you. What is one of the changes you would want to see in the reptile community for the good?
One change that I want to see in the reptile community. I really want to see everybody stick together more and not be just, everybody has a different approach. Everybody has different animals, but as long as the welfare and the health of the animal is intact, like, don't just, but not like, I feel like a lot of people nowadays, definitely in today's day and age, everybody goes for who got the most subscribers or who get the most views, and that's who I'm going to listen to, or that's all I'm going to watch. Support everybody. Like, one of my favorite people that we have in the chat all the time, like, I love her content, is Creative Reptiles. I love her videos, like her year end, her year end top 5 shows. Like, she put me on shows that I would have never even watched. Like, so she bring her own little style to it, so I appreciate her. I appreciate, like, Keys for
Shout
what he
out to Great
does.
Reptiles.
I appreciate you for what you do. I appreciate both. So just show love. Like, it's too much room and too much. There's already enough negative stuff going on in the world. We don't need to hate on each other. So that's what I want to see.
I totally agree. First of all, we're all wonderful in our own way. I can take up everybody who's in the hobby, even the people that I might not talk to on a daily basis, who I think are wonderful in a way. It's only like probably about 2 people that I just can tell you that I just don't want nothing to do with. And that's my prerogative, and it keeps me sane. It keeps me positive. Like some people are. You ever read the book The Energy Bus? There are energy vampires, and energy vampires can't be on my bus.
Right.
They never were. It's what keep me looking at 50. Even in my personal family, I will cut off anything that thinks it's going to drain the soul out of me. It cannot do it. Life is too short, and I want to make sure that I'm living it to my fullest and my joy. My regular day-to-day life stuff causes me my own stress. I don't need anybody else's stresses on my back. What do you think that the social media platforms have done in a positive light for the reptile community?
Social media, I mean, it's giving everybody a chance to be themselves and show their animals, show their collection, show how beautiful snakes, lizards, like how beautiful reptiles really are, how they're great animals. So you could see it more because, like I said, a lot of people were scared of snakes and they didn't have a reason, but they didn't see it. But like seeing people, like a story like my fiance and my stepdaughter, like when I first met them, bro, they would not deal with snakes at all. Like, bro, they no, not at all. But now, like, they literally hold it. Like, my stepdaughter's 5 years old, and I helped her grow into it. And
It's the
like,
process.
now she literally, like, she asked me because she called me Mr. Babe. That's her name for me. She'd be like, Mr. Babe, can you take Harpo out, or can you take Top Shelf out? Like, she asked, can I take them out? Like, so, you know.
Yeah, so that's why my grandkids love being here. Like every chance they get, they have to be here. My granddaughter is 6 years old. She first thing she does when she wake up in the morning, she turns on all of the big snakes. Like she can't open those enclosures. She knows that. So therefore she'll tell me if anybody need to be cleaned or they need water or anything like that. And she has a little book that she walks around with, which I think is the coolest thing. I still be asleep half of the time, and she comes with this completed book. Then she'll go into all the ball python racks, which she can open those. She's familiar with them. She's very comfortable with them. Tell me if anybody, she won't take them out, but she'll tell me if anybody else, if anybody uses the bathroom, if they need water changes and things like that. So I say with kids is that it's easy with them if you show them the animals when they're young, because they're not born with the fear of the animal. In fact, kids are the most fearless things. When I think of the things that I did to mess my bones up, it was me being a fearless child, jumping off walls, backflipping, and stuff like that. That was just me being a child who just didn't fear anything. I can remember like herping. I herped all the time. I grew up in a community that was around, it's nothing but woods and water. Stayed in the woods. You tell me to go in the water, in the woods now, and it's water. I'm thinking water moccasins. I'm not going. So when you get older, you create these own fears in yourself, or you're taught fears. The good thing for me is that I had parents, and for most of us had parents that even though we were weirdos to everybody, they allow us to be the best weirdos we can be. So therefore, I still grew up loving animals so much to the point where I can buy them. I don't have to hoop for them. So thank God. Now, far as us in the hobby, the people that you are surrounded with, the people who you share the chats with and things like that, if we can do anything to make this experience, this new breeding experience, this new ownership of reptiles, the growth, you talked about like financial support, like anything like that, if anything that we could do to help you continue to flourish, whether it's sharing our ideas, sharing you're in Virginia, like ideas of people that you can network with, because I would tell you, you got one of the best fish and wildlife right there in Virginia. So definitely in Norfolk, get with them to definitely broaden your brand and your education. But what can your peers in the reptile community do personally to help you?
To help me, just really just show support. Like, just tune into the channel, subscribe if you haven't, tune in, and like anything, like when you gave me ideas about how I can enhance my videos. Like I tell anybody, if you ever have any ideas, something that you see like, oh man, if you do this, that'll get that extra little flair,
Right.
man, drop it, inbox me on Instagram, and I will listen. And like I said, the biggest thing that I don't tolerate, like as long as you're not disrespectful, as long as you're respectful and you just come at me, hey bro, I think you could blah blah blah. I look, I look at it, if it makes sense, then I'm gonna make those adjustments. So just like the biggest thing, like when I was in the military, a thing that I learned is watching out for each other. Sometimes you might see something that I don't necessarily see.
Right.
So if you see something that I don't necessarily see, don't let me walk into the fire and then just be like, oh well, be like, hey bro, don't do that, or try doing it this way. Maybe that'll help you out. So that's what.
Well, I would tell you, this has been this whole setting this up has been a very positive experience with you. So I will encourage everybody to definitely go to Rock on Reptiles, subscribe to his channel, view his channel, continue to support him. And support is, Emilio said it best, it doesn't mean that you got to give anybody money. Just liking and sharing their content is great enough. And just keeping everybody inspired and in a positive way as we go through. For some breeders, this is what some breeders think this is going to be a challenging year. Some pet owners are finding challenging on feeding their animals and things like that. So as we go through the year, we want to just kind of lift each other up with positivity and love. And I just wanted to say thank you, for be willing to have the conversation I wanted to have. Thank you for wanting to be on the show, because that's an honor as well. Anytime somebody reach out to me and they say, hey, I would like to be on your show, that's an honor. It's a whole lot of shows, a whole lot of people they can be reaching out to. I'm going to always, like I tell people, you don't realize what I notice. I write down, so it's a book in front of me. Every time I'm doing a show, I write down notes from the chat, and I don't forget. And so I didn't forget that you did, say, hey, I would love to be on, and I'm just glad that you're here. Anybody else, if you want to be on the show, if you want to sponsor, hit me up on Instagram. Do not message me on Facebook, Instagram. I will definitely respond to you on Instagram. And when you hit me up on Instagram, do not message with just, hey, because I'm not going to respond because I don't know what you're really trying to say. Give me a full hey, and then tell me what you're messaging for me. I mean, it is a business page, so please give me a paragraph so I know how to respond. With that being said, do not forget 4:00 today. We have Kent from Craft Brew. His channel is coming on at 4 p.m. Today is Saturday. I think we have 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. We have Celtic Balls. And there's another show coming on tonight. Is it Trap Talk? Maybe it's Trap Talk. I'm sorry.
And lady, before we leave, I feel like we're on a reptile podcast, so I got to show at least one reptile. Which one y'all want to see?
You can go.
Which one y'all want? Which one do y'all want to see?
You know what I'm going to want to see.
Oh, my crazy retic. Okay, I'll go grab it.
Get the berm. We're gonna make it easy. Get the berm. You ain't gotta get the retic. Wow, Pat, hope you feel better. Hell yeah, Shane, he did. Ray killed that. That was a wonderful, and that was a perfect timing for that interview. I enjoyed that interview so much, but I knew I would.
Okay, I got the retic.
He got the retic.
This is Queen Akasha.
Pretty. Who did you get it from?
He's a breeder. His name is Rick Kermine. Kermine.
Okay.
I want to say, but yeah, this is her.
I like the colors. Definitely. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Yeah. So if I showed you, hold tight. I'm gonna show you a retic. You said that's a male or female?
She a female.
Female. All right. I think she's in shed, but I'm gonna get a female who's her age and show you the difference in their size. Hold on.
All right. Oh yeah, and this is my other little girl. Well, this is a boy, but this is Sincere, y'all. Sincere. Man, but shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I appreciate y'all coming through. And yeah, my retic, she kind of peed on me, but I'll be okay.
Come on, Mama. Come on.
My kid, he's a banana cinnamon head clown, 100% head clown. So banana cinnamon, 100% head clown. This is the guy right here.
You and shit. I need you. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. Here I come. Come on, baby. All right, here you go, Rock. You see her?
Oh yeah, I see her.
Yeah, and she right now only eats a guinea pig every 2 weeks. She's in shed, but I'm trying to get you to see how long she is, but she won't. She's actually holding. See? See me? Hey, Mom. Say hi, Mr. B. See that the girl over there? Say, hey, girl. Say, hey, girl. Yeah, so I would say if you can, do you have access to guinea pigs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say give her, start giving her a guinea pig every 2 weeks.
Okay.
And then gradually get her up to like a bunny or a rabbit. You can give her like, I would say no more than 10 pounds, but, and then you can feed them less. You'll spend less money and you can feed them less.
All right, I got one more thing. Let me go grab like this.
Take your time. This is your show.
Where is she?
Don't you knock that over. Hi, Mama. Hi, Mama. Oh, Eli, she's fat. She might not look like it on camera. She's a fat one. Now she's not as big as the bigger three, but she's heavy. I wish y'all could see it. She just literally just took over my desk just now.
This is.
So what is that? Pastel? Sulfur?
No, pastel yellow belly.
Pastel yellow belly?
Mm-hmm.
No sulfur, no fire.
Nope.
Okay.
And the only reason I didn't get the.
Hold on. Where is and keys? Y'all don't see sulfur or fire in that?
Well, okay, I'm gonna say what he was sold to me as. I'm not good with the genetics.
I need my pros. I see, because I have a pastel. I'm gonna show you my pastel sulfur. And it looks very, but she said mine is half a clown, but that color looks very much the same. What did he say? See, Pike said super bright. I'm gonna go grab mine. In the meantime, y'all better hold my retic, don't knock the camera over.
Yeah, this is top shelf. Oh wait, let's see. There we go. This is him. Maybe y'all can help. Maybe he got more genes. Like I said, he was sold to me as a pastel yellow belly. Matter of fact, pastel yellow belly head for orange something. I forgot, but I can't remember.
Well, all right. Pike, you still here, y'all? I gotta take the camera with me. Pike, I think she's ovulating. Hold on. Don't go nowhere. I think I hit the button. All right. I'm sorry. I was going to get her for you, but she's in shed. But the way she's turned. Pike, you there? I need Pike to look. Y'all think I got an ovulation. Wait a minute. Hold on. Can you see? Wait a minute. Pike, can you see? Can y'all see that? You see how she turned? She never turned this way, and she's in shed.
Maybe
Get that camera on that animal, girl. Can you see it? Can y'all see? Rock, can you see it? I can't hear.
I can see you. I can see it clear.
Pike, tell me, Pike. Talk to me, Pike. Yeah, she never lays like that, so I'm not gonna touch her.
Oh yeah, I got one more. Let me go grab
But
her.
If she's ovulating, she went from likely pre shed. Okay, yeah, she's never laid like that. And I was going to say I'm gonna sauna her after she shed, but she's never laid like that. And Pipe, that's one of the girls I was telling you. She was one of the younger females, and she just started to develop really fast. So.
All right, y'all. Listen, I'm about to go grab the girl that I plan on pairing with him when she gets to size, because right now he is about. Matter of fact, I got a snake book to tell you exactly how much he weighs.
Okay.
Top shelf. He's 798 grams.
Got you. And my retake is still right here, just chilling. I wish y'all can see how sweet they are.
So this guy right here, he's 798 grams. I'm gonna show you the female that I do want to pair him to, and hopefully she'll be ready by breeding season this year. Yeah.
If y'all see some weird typing coming from me in the chat, that's my retake typing on my laptops. And she's so comfortable, I'm not even gonna move her. What are you doing? They press her up and lay half dead looking. So she either 13 to 17 days ago, she fixed it to fully ovulate. Yeah, so she was one, Kai and Pike, who went from. So she was one that I started to sauna at 850 just for shits and giggles. Y'all heard me tell the story before. But then she ended up advancing faster than repair at 10 millimeters. Then she started advancing faster than the other ones who've been paired, like who was sitting at like 15. So she came to like 17. So if that's the case, Pike, she's actually going from 17 millimeters into ovulation less than 30 days.
See, this is her right here.
Oh, that's a pretty one too. See, so you like pastel?
Yeah, she is just a super pastel, possible head clown.
I like pastel. I'm gonna always like pastel. I'm gonna always like pastel. I'm gonna always like spider. You can create all the animals you want. I would still love them. Okay, Pike said it can happen that fast. Okay.
But yeah, that's my
So
girl.
I'm going to sauna her today. Well, I don't want to sauna her while she is shed. I'm gonna wait till she's shed and sonogram her again, Pike. I think the last time that we did it, she was one of the ones that was like 18 millimeters or something like that. And that was like a month ago.
Oh yeah, shout out to my boo. She in the chat, Coco Dow 81. Yeah, there we go. That's her.
Hey Coco, but we gotta make her. If I can get my retake off my phone, here we go. Make her blue. You are now a moderator, sister.
But yeah,
don't be a stranger to the chats.
Nah, she watch your videos. She watch your videos in live with me all the time.
Go Coco.
But okay. Oh, and the only reason I didn't grab the berm is because he's in full blown shed, and when he in shed, he is not friendly at all to anybody.
Touch him anyway.
You said what?
That's how you get him out of that. This retake I just got out for you in full blown shed.
Okay, I'm about to. Matter of fact, you ain't about to call my bluff. I'm about to go grab him.
Just go ahead. Touch him anyway. Use your hook, but touch it anyway and get him out of there. Make him used to it. Why she laying? I'm more to pre, but I could be wrong. Okay. Yeah, as soon as she shed, I'm going to sonogram her again. But she's never laid like that, ever. And she's definitely in full shed.
What you want?
Thank you all who's still with us. I know we run a little late, but we want to give Rock the opportunity to show all the animals he wants to show. Little girl, where are you going? I can hear it. Keep going. It's just been huffy. Get the first third of the body away from you and just pick her up or him up.
I got it, y'all. Don't worry.
All right. Yeah, that's what you got to do. You got to make them know they can get dealt with if they got to be dealt with. I mean, you don't have to touch them and shit, but I always deal with mine so they know if I ever have to move them for any reason, I don't care if you in shed, I'm still have to move it. See? And it's a beautiful bird.
Look at them eyes.
Moles are the best. Deep blue. That's right. Yep. Don't torture him with the light, but I wanted you to still go pick him up. Yes. Birds are just huffy anyway. They just noise.
Oh yeah, he do that every time I get him out the cage.
Yeah, they just noise makers like all the time. Let me see if y'all can see her. Y'all see her? She just laying there. Should be a situation where I really have to look for them. Just put probe to her and they, yep, definitely will. I'm not going to get him poppy lies. I know, but I'm telling you. I'm going to get him poppy. Most birds are very vocal. I won't even say stubborn because it really means nothing. Half of the time, they're very vocal. But one of the things that I try to do with all of the big snakes is let them know I don't care what your position, your scenario is. I'm going to touch you if I have to touch you, especially retics, because they can eat, for example, and then poop. You still want to move them and clean them. Wait a minute, that's sunset. That's sunset. Look, I'm calling everything sunset at this particular point. That's sunset.
This is Harpo.
It's pretty. Love birds. Just have too many big snakes now. If I had more room, I have time to get a berm. Or another retic. That's a big snake. That's a male or female?
A male.
And wait a minute, hold on, that's a boa.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, all right. Take it back, not sunset, it's a boa. Yes, Maki, I've been breeding for a few months actually. I have at least now 5 girls who should go this year. I wasn't expecting that one to go. That one is like, so we proved Pipe. If she goes all the way and everything's okay, that's one of those examples of what the argument is. I started pairing her at 850 to see if her 8 millimeter follicles would grow, and they did after the first pairing. But then she started to grow follicles quicker than any of my bigger snakes. That's the crazy thing. So we'll see. Oh, if I had more house, I would have, oh my God, I would have definitely at least 5 more retics. But I would want them all to have like 20 by 20 enclosures, 20 by 20 by 20 enclosures, some crazy stuff like that. But yeah. But it don't matter. They spoiled anyway. Look at them. It's spoiled rotten.
She's just a pastel.
Wait a minute, you said you only had 5 ball pythons, right?
No, I got 6.
6. Okay, 6 ball pythons, okay. I'm just saying this is going to prove y'all theories because I tested the theories Pipe. And she was the only one that I even attempted that way. And we'll see.
Yeah, she's just a single gene pastel, and when I saw her at the reptile show, I was just like, I gotta get her.
So pastel. Okay, all right. Pastel. I gotta remember what snake I won last night. I'll get back with you. I won a snake last night. And depending on what the genetics is, I might give it up. But I know Big D said that he may want it, but if he really don't want it, we'll have it shipped to you. So we'll see.
Yeah, because my
Because if
other
it
one,
doesn't have a place right now, my immediate plans, I'll let Big D have it because I know that he has plenty of options for it.
like my littlest ones, I haven't showed y'all those. Those are my. I'll go grab them. I'm just hot right now. You know, I've
Go
been
ahead.
drinking. You know, I've been doing reptiles and cocktails, and the cocktails got me hot.
Go ahead. Look, go right on. Go right on. Elijah, if you get custom made enclosures from Cryptic Creations, you can have 15 boas easily. I'm a bad influence. Hell no, I ain't trying to maternal incubation. Not with my first clutch. I will probably try something like that later down the line. My first clutch, I'm gonna protect that thing like a puppy. Like I mean, I'm gonna be on it like my child. It's gonna be like I'm giving birth. I'm gonna protect it. Maybe later on down the line when I'm more experienced on the ball python breeding side, I will try it. I know Kevin McCurley has done it successfully, but it's not nothing I want to try right now. I got an incubator ready though. Hey, that's super classic.
Huh? No, it's just a calico.
Oh, break it down. I normally can identify calico. Okay. Let's see it now. Pretty. Maki
Yeah,
said it's terrible. This episode is sponsored by.
But that's why, and that's why I'm not into breeding this year because like all my snakes I got when they were smaller, so I want to raise them up. I want to go through the whole process. You know,
Yeah, I only bought like 3 proven breeders, and they all came from KG. And I just wanted the snake because it was KG snake was from Bone Projects. But everything else I raised up or raising up or this was my first year where the babies that I raised up, some of those females got ready. I got males just waiting, but my females were where I had to continue to bring them up.
But yeah. But my plan is to get a female. I really want a female sun glow. I think they sun glow boa or moon glow.
Okay. Well, I would tell you, check out right now, Reptile Super Show, Florida. I think it's Tampa, Orlando. I think it might be Orlando, but Emilio Villarino Reptiles is down there. Check out his website. I think Emilio got some amazing snakes on his website as well. So check him out. I know he got some good discounts going on right now as well too. All right. So for that, Roc, thank you so much.
No
we're
problem.
Going to continue to support you along the way. Keep riding with us. Love having you in the chat. Thank you for your positive energy. You know, solid men is still a thing in the world. We need men to stay solid in the world. You guys, especially men of, I would say, minority, y'all have to stick together. Y'all have to build platforms for you guys to actually, you know, rise up above and be equal. So definitely continue to be positive. If any advice I can give you, build relationships out of the ones that you have as well. I tell people all the time, like that's why I hate the word clique. Usual suspects is my family, but I have plenty relationships within this reptile hobby. Some of them were started even before I became on social media like that. So those are the people who's going to keep you solid, keep you motivated at some very tough times, support you along the way, and just have your back. Shout out to Bosa, who, as you can see, always has mine. Shout out to my sponsor. Shout out to Usual Suspects. Shout out to everybody in the chat that supports this channel and supports Roc on Reptiles. Follow him Instagram. Follow him on YouTube. And we're going to call it a day and let you guys have your sanity back. Peace.
Peace, y'all.